The previous tenant in this unit was like the cat hoarder of Soho, and he still is around, and there's still a lot of cats around this property. And a lot of contractors didn't think that there was anything wrong with this crack. They're like, okay, the walls have just shifted. I find that in a lot of rental properties that I see, people aren't taking into account storage, and I'm just thinking of myself as when I was a tenant, and in my apartment I had lots of storage. I mean, I think some people will look at this and be like, this is not a great burr, but I don't know, I think it's really hard to find a perfect burr in London now.
We're back with Angie, and this time she's given us a tour of a triplex she recently closed on, and she's fully renovating. If you guys don't remember this, we actually discussed this with Angie a few months back when she was saying she wasn't exactly sure what she was getting into as far as renovations go. Well, now that she's been able to like tear down the walls and really see what's behind them, she's seeing it's a much bigger project than she initially anticipated. First of all, I just want to thank Angie for being so open and honest in this video and sharing exactly her learning experiences. This is kind of the unique content that I want to consistently provide you guys. So if you're ever interested in being on our YouTube channel, let us know. There's an email address in the video description down below. You can always reach out. It takes me sometimes a while to respond. Don't panic if I don't respond right away. But again, thank you, Angie, so much for just taking the time to really show us both sides of the real estate investing spectrum. What is up, YouTube? We're back with Angie, and today Angie's going to give us a walkthrough of her triplex project here in Soho in London, Ontario. This is the one where the renovation's grown a little bit since the last time we checked in. Really appreciate you taking the time, Angie, to just share your entire experience behind this, because I think it's a great learning lesson, not just for you, but for the audience at home as well. So guys, break out the notepad. You're going to want to take notes.
Well, yeah, thanks, Matt. We're in the first unit right now. The previous tenant in this unit was like the cat hoarder of Soho, and he still is around, and there's still a lot of cats around this property. And I'll share some stories about that later. But yeah, I remember doing a walkthrough of this unit, and like the screen door was open. The cats were just like flowing into his house, like during the walkthrough. I was like, oh great, this is great. But yeah, thankfully he's gone, but unfortunately still in the neighborhood. We're in this little addition that was previously built. It's a little bit awkward, but you know, we're gonna try and make this a like living room, dining room kind of area. And then if you wanna continue on through, you can see that like when we started doing demo and took down all the walls, these ceilings are super high. They're 11 feet, I think. So we're gonna try and keep those. And then we've got the kitchen here. Unfortunately, it's not a super open concept in this unit, but I've got a lot of structural walls that can't be changed, so it's kind of tough to play around with the layouts. But this kitchen's gonna have a dishwasher, it's gonna have laundry, really nice, you know, white cabinets, and hopefully we're gonna be able to like wrap it all around, so lots and lots of cabinet space. This is the bathroom here, very simple layout, vanity, toilet, bathtub. I originally wanted to do, you know, tile around the bathtub like most people do, but I really need to reel in this budget, so we're going to be thinking of some alternatives. For now, we might have to do a plastic shower surround, and then down the road do some tiling when there's some tenant turnover.
And so first, Angie, if I can interrupt, yeah. Just you kind of really quickly rhymed off like toilet here, shower here, vanity here.
Yeah.
Was it really easy for you to visualize that at first, or like how did you figure out that there's enough space here that was going to work well?
Well, the original bathroom had that layout, and it was a perfect rectangle, so this bathroom layout was really easy to be like, okay, well it worked in the previous layout, so let's just repeat it. It's a perfect rectangle, so it's just a very typical bathroom layout. The other bathrooms are going to be a lot more complicated to figure out, as we'll see. And then I think I'm gonna try and build a little closet here for like coats and stuff. A lot of people that are coming through here are wondering why I want to do that. They're like, it's fine, there'll be closets in the bedroom. But I'm like, no, normal people need to hang their coats in a front closet, or they need to put the vacuum in a closet and they don't want to put that in the bedroom, or the Christmas tree, or a suitcase or something. So I'm trying to build things that like I would want as a tenant, because you know I was a really good tenant and I wanted, you know, a normal looking place. I wanted some storage, so that's what I'm trying to build into these units as well, and that's not too expensive to frame in a closet. And then we're in the bedroom here. In the second unit, there was a bedroom on that side, but that's going to be a living room kitchen area now. So both of these closets are going to belong to this unit. So this bedroom's going to have like tons of closets. So I'm anticipating a tenant who's going to like really love the amount of storage in this unit.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then we can continue on into the second unit. I want to talk about what it looked like when I first came in here. So like this is the side entrance to the place, and when I first came in here, there was like 10 people all seeing this house at the same time, because it was like April, the market was super hot. Of course, there were 10 people looking at a triplex that was originally priced at like, I don't know, like 170 or something like that. So we couldn't come in as a group. We had to come in like single file through the house because there was so much garbage piled up. It was like crazy extreme hoarders in here. Like this was a kitchen actually, and then we got to this section here, and I didn't know what was beyond, like I didn't know what this part of the house looked like, and I bought the house without even knowing what that part of the house looked like, because there was so much garbage here that I couldn't even get to like this section of the house, which was crazy. So like you could like walk over here, like peek your head around the bathroom, like everything was awful. There were investors from Toronto that were in this group of 10 seeing the place, like they wouldn't step into this unit and stuff. So like it was definitely a problems or profits thing. Like that was definitely a profit in my mind. But yeah, this was a crazy unit here. So we're gonna come in here. There's gonna be closets, because again, normal people need front entry closets. Door to the bedroom here. We're gonna frame up a little closet in this bedroom, wall this off. We're going to continue down the hall, bathroom off to this side. There's going to be laundry in that bathroom, and this is going to be a nice open concept kitchen living room. We'll probably do like an L-shaped kitchen, and then living room can go in that corner. So it's going to be really clean layouts. People are going to come in, they're going to see the high 11-foot ceilings here, then they come into this space, all nice and big, new kitchen, living room. I think this is my favorite unit just because of the layout here. We found this crack obviously when we smashed out the like plaster walls, and a lot of contractors didn't think that there was anything wrong with this crack. They're like, okay, the walls have just shifted over time, but like everything else is fine, so there's no issue, we're just gonna go over it. And I was like, okay, and multiple people told me this, so I was like, all right, well, if multiple people are saying this, and it's fine. But we hadn't fully demoed out all the stuff above the ceiling yet, and so we recently did that, like literally a week ago, and the guy's like, he was trying to level the floors as well at the same time, and he's seeing a huge difference in like the ceiling difference, the flooring difference in different spots of the house, and realized that it is actually a structural issue. It is fixable, and it's not going to be terribly expensive, I don't think. We just have to re-support stuff in the ceiling and re-support some floor joists in the basement that had completely rotted away. These joists are going into the brick, which happens in a lot of old homes, and when water rots them away, then the bricks can fall onto them, which is what they're doing in this area here. I was wondering why this was happening. There were no eaves troughs on this house, and so water was pooling right on the side of this house for probably like decades. And so now there's eaves troughs, so I'm hoping that fixes the problem, as well as in the spring we might have to slope some concrete so that it runs away from the house. But we'll see. The eaves troughs might have fixed everything, because obviously more water is coming from the roof area because of the surface area versus like the rain just on the side of this house here. So putting eaves troughs might have just fixed the problem, but yeah, we'll see in the spring. So yeah, unit 3 here, you enter it through the back. It had the most interesting tenant in it. He was a drug dealer and oftentimes shirtless, and I remember coming in from the back to get into this place. There was like some like makeshift gate with like signs written on paper saying like "do not enter" and like angry faces and like fake security cameras and stuff, because you know he's dealing drugs. And he was outside when we came in, and he's like, "Oh look, I put in this pond," and like you know there's a crappy shed, a crappy garage, like you know garbage everywhere, but he put in a pond. I was like, oh wow, thank you, like what a great tenant, putting in a pond. And then he had a little garden too with tomatoes that I actually like picked when I like got the property and stuff. I was like, these are probably laced with like cocaine, but you know they were actually you know very delicious still. Yeah, so on closing, I mean, we can go into more of this stuff later, but like on closing, yeah, he was refusing to leave, even though he had signed the N11, and yeah, so that took about an additional few weeks to get him out. I was able to get some cash back on closing in order to close on the house. We can go into more detail about that later, but I used that little bit of money to pay the tenant to get out of here. Because yeah, I needed this place vacant because all of these tenants were just awful, and I couldn't keep them around. Yeah, so we're in this place. This was, up until 5 minutes ago, it was going to be the living room, and I might want it as a bedroom now, because I mean there's already a closet, and I think it's going to work better for an open concept kitchen living room there. There's going to be a bathroom here. The layout here is kind of funky. This is definitely not as clean as the other bathrooms are going to be. There are stairs going to a basement here, and that affects like where like the original vanity was. There was no storage under the vanity because of the kind of like the sloped staircase. So we might be fixing that up so that like a nice vanity can go there. I was gonna possibly do like a corner shower thing, but they're pretty expensive and are known to leak if you don't install them properly. And again, just to you know stay in line with the budget, I think we are just going to do just like a bathtub and shower surround in this same layout as it originally was, with the bathtub here and the toilet here, just because like I need to save costs. Like we could have totally done like a beautiful like walk-in tile shower here and like you know vanity toilet, or like corner shower vanity toilet. Like I think it would have looked a lot better, but I don't know how much more I'd get in rent. I really don't think anything higher in rent, and it would have cost me so much more money, and like I need to you know rein in the budget. So unfortunately the layout's going to be a little bit more awkward, but you know it's probably going to get done quicker, and I'm still going to stay in budget. So we'll continue on over here. I kind of made my first mistake on this property. Not first, many mistakes, but one obvious one was I was supposed to make this window shorter so that we can put countertops underneath here and make like a little L shape. And I had 2 people from the same company go out to measure these windows, and unfortunately I forgot to tell them that both times. No, I did, but they just forgot to measure it or something like that, and I didn't catch it. So yeah, when this window got installed, I was like, damn it, and this changes, like this, you know, messes up my whole kitchen design. We can't do an L shape anymore. But what I think I might do is like just like a really short cabinet here, and then continue like the longer, like, or the wider ones out. It's not going to look as good, but like, you know, it's not the end of the world. And I really, again, don't think it's going to affect rent. So we're going to continue out all of the cabinets probably to about here, add laundry. I was going to do the bedroom here. We might change this into a living room, and I actually kind of like that idea a little bit more because the bedroom will be separated, like it'll be on the opposite side of all the other stuff, so it might be quieter. Plus, like, kitchen, living room will now be open concept. So you can stay tuned until the next video to find out, what layout I actually choose to do.
Now Angie's going to dive into the numbers on her triplex renovation for us and kind of explain how this renovation budget's evolved.
Yep, it sure changed a lot. So I think when we shot our previous video about 6 months ago, I was going to ask for $1,000 a month plus hydro for the 1-bedroom units. I mean, vacancy continues to be sky high, or record low in London.
We're at like 2%. Right?
Yeah. So demand is super high. So I've just now upped my price to $1,100 plus hydro, and I think it's pretty reasonable considering everything's going to be completely brand new in this house.
And you were mentioning that like neighbor properties, are renting for like $1,250.
Yeah, like one bed. Yeah. So I think this is going to be fully achievable. Purchase price stays the same. Reno budget. So in the last video, I think I said, I was like, this is going to cost me, maybe 70 grand or something. Yeah. And am I going to put in $100,000 worth of work? Probably not. So therefore I can kind of tell that it's pretty good. I had no idea what I was talking about. I was thinking, 20,000 a unit plus 10 for like outside or something like that. I had absolutely no idea what I was talking about. And I think that those numbers are more for like cosmetic flips, and this one is as you can see, like a gut to the studs.
Full like rebuild on the inside.
Yeah. And so, I'm essentially like building a new house. The only things that aren't changing is the foundation and the exterior walls. Every single thing else is new. So, that's how much it costs to build a brand new house now. But everything's going to be done right. It's, I'm not using some like bootleg contractor, And
so how did you go about kind of figuring this out? Like, did you start getting multiple quotes?
Yeah. And that's why it's kind of taken a while for this project to go, because I didn't want to just go with the first quote I got. I got a lot of quotes for every single step. So everything from, the framing, plumbing, electrical, I had like tons of quotes for each one.
And did you find each quote that came in was consistent with others, or were they all over the place?
It really depends. Some of them weren't too far off from each other, but other ones would be like significantly higher than the other ones. Yeah, and I think it just depended on a lot of factors. Maybe the contractors didn't want to take on this project, so they were just like throwing a number out there.
Gotcha,
But I think honestly, more realistically, they might have, thought that I knew absolutely nothing, so maybe they thought they could take advantage of me as well.
Gotcha.
I think in the previous video I said the ARV, I think I said something as low as like 270, 280. Maybe after renovations and stuff, this property, they might appraise it for, I don't know, 270, 280 maybe. And the market's gone even crazier since then. I think I was being even really conservative back then, but I really do think I could get an ARV of 350 here.
Yeah, and a big part of that is you're essentially dealing with all new plumbing, all new electrical, like new siding, new windows,
roof, everything.
Everything's been redone. So again, before we started shooting the video, we were chatting, I think probably anywhere from 330 to 400 to me. And it's possible that if the market continues to stay as hot as it currently is, it can even be 4.25 by the spring.
Which would be really cool, because I know that's what like Old East triplexes were appraising for like 6 months ago. So we'll see. I'm going to be appraising this in the spring, so maybe it'll keep going up, which will really save me, because right now we're looking at approximately this much out of pocket, depending on the reno and the ARV.
So that's looking at this at like an 80% loan to value, right?
Maybe a $10,000 difference in there, but depending on like whatever number I use for that. But I mean, I think some people will look at this and be like, this is not a great burr, but I don't know. I think it's really hard to find a perfect burr in London now. Like,
yeah, it's a lot more competitive,
yeah.
and you're still going to be at like the 1% rule after your ARV, which is great. So it's going to be a strong cash flowing rental property, and
yeah.
you shouldn't have many repairs and maintenance for like.
I would hope not. Yeah, yeah.
And so I think it's just really important to highlight for the audience on this one that, you know, problems or profits is kind of our slogan now, and it really is that. Like, you could look at this and be like, oh my god, like I'm spending so much more money than I originally thought, and this is the worst thing ever. Or like you kind of laid out here, Angie, like the knowledge really is priceless, because everything you learned from this project you can take on to the next one.
Yeah, and I think I needed this kind of project to take me to the next level, because I was doing a lot of like easy flips, easy turnkey rental properties where I'm like, oh, let's paint this and, you know, put some tile here and put some flooring here. Like, I needed to learn a lot more, and now I can walk through a property and price things out perfectly. Whereas before, I didn't know what these renovations were. I have it all roughly laid out what the rest of the project is going to cost me, and so now I know when I walk into a property or I see a property, I'm like, oh, okay, so that does look like a good deal, but you're actually going to have to put in so much more, and then it's not a good deal anymore. So I can kind of analyze properties a lot better now.
Love it. And so for some people at home, I'm sure they're wondering, like, you know, since the renovation budget has creeped up so much, like you're looking at spending another potentially 60,000, 70, 80,000 more than you originally budgeted. You know, where's that money come from?
It's coming from the sale of some of my other properties that I talked about in previous videos, like those awesome townhouse flips and stuff.
So you already had a buffer saved up just in case?
Yeah, and then also a little bit of private money too that I've had for like a year or so now. So it's you know, it's crappy to see those numbers and stuff, but for me, I'm not, you know, scrambling to find you know, more private money or anything like that right now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks again to Angie. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you like this content, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to my channel, and until next time, remember, making money is a team sport. There's more than enough money in this world for us to all make it, but if you're not saving it, I mean, like, what's the point? Thanks, guys.